Thanks for tuning in to yet another installment of the Eddie Spivey Show. Hi, and welcome to the show. I am the host, Eddie Spivey. In this installment, I will be discussing in detail about those shameless false black Indians. So, without further ado, moving things right along as usual. How many black people are aware of the fact there are way too many cock-sucking, shameless, false black American Indians? Generational lying motherfuckers. I am keenly aware of the fact many people will be offended, your feelings will get hurt, you will become butthurt, but are you aware of the fact that I don't give a fuck and I do not and will not apologize if your little fucking feelings are hurt? Now, this message does not apply at all to the authentic, to the real black Native Americans. Let me be clear on that. If it does not apply, just let it fly right over your fucking toupee. It's that simple. So, to any, like I said, this message does not apply at all to any truthful black American Indians, particularly those with documented evidence. Of course, keep in mind, proof is golden and the truth is still the light. So, pay attention and follow my meaning. Finer hair does not and will not qualify you as a black Indian. No, you do not have Native American or indigenous ancestry. Now, keep in mind, straight hair, long hair, curly hair does not qualify you as a descendant of indigenous people of America, which many of us know them to be referred to as American Indians, although many indigenous Native Americans does not prefer to be referred to as Indians. So I just want to put that out there. Innocently so, we do make that reference, and there are many indigenous Americans that has not a problem with the term American Indian. So I just wanted to put that out there. Fair skin does not qualify you for black American Indianhood. Now, you motherfuckers with attention deficit and OCD tendencies, I'm going to repeat that for you special motherfuckers. Fair skin does not qualify you as an American Indian. Be clear on that. High cheekbones does not qualify you as a black American Indian. You do not qualify for black Native Indianhood. Just so you know, and many of you motherfuckers have been misinformed. It's not all of your faults. All right, pay attention and follow my meaning. Every 3 Negroes swear like a motherfucker that they got Indian in their family. They got Indian in their blood. I'm willing to consider the probability that many false black American Indians were misinformed. They were lied to. They've been misled. You know, all their lives, they've been misled. So what can you say about that? Many false black American Indians were raised on a steady fucking diet of lies and misinformation all their lives, many Negro children in America are taught to assume a false identity. Go figure. However, many will choose to falsely self-identify. These are those high-ranking lying motherfucking cocksuckers. Thus, creating a false past for themselves. They're making up their past as they go. Shameless wannabe black natives. Pay attention. You are an American Negro. You have no Native American blood. You have zero DNA whatsoever. And the majority of you already have that information. You know you're not an Indian. But shameless cocksuckers need to quit falsely claiming to be of Native American descent. Just quit lying. Most of you lying motherfuckers have never met a single Native American in your fucking lives. And you couldn't even fucking recognize one if you ever met one. Quit lying about your fucking heritage. You are not a black Indian. You're a Negro. You're a fucking Negro. That's what you are. You're a Negro. Most of you Negroes have kinky hair. That's a known fact. You are an American Indian. No, you are an American Negro, not an American Negro. Too many Negroes are faking the funk. Live with it. Live with the fact that you're an American Negro. If you're such a motherfucking Indian, what tribe do you belong to? And where the fuck is it? Where's your fucking black tribe? Your black Indian tribe? You're such a fucking Indian. You should have that information. Here, you are this fake-ass wannabe Negro Indian, living with lifelong identity crisis syndrome. You don't know who the fuck you are, or you're just making up who you are, pretending to be something else of another race. You're wannabe Negro Indians. You wannabe Negro Indians are pathetic hoodlickers whom are all about pure bullshittery and every type of fuckery. Learn how to be a Negro for once in your cock-sucking lives. Try it. You just might love it. Be a Negro. Be exactly who the fuck you are and who you were born as. You're quicker than lightning when you proudly lie about your Negro Indianhood. You can't just guess or lie about who the fuck you are. Why are you lying? I notice how you fake Negro native motherfuckers. You never celebrate any Native American holidays. You sons of bitches never practice any Indian cultures whatsoever. You sons of bitches never, ever, you fucking pathetic liars, never give your children Native American names. And true to your Negro nature, you want to be native liars, give your children the most fucked up ghetto names ever. The most fucked up ghetto names you can think of. Now, I'm sure the real black Native Americans proudly assume given names such as Day Sky Rainbow Jenkins, Thunderstorm Washington, or an American Negro Muslim who is part native with the assumed name of Moon Eagle El Shabazz, and his loving wife, Khadija Shenika Mankiller El Shabazz, whom are likely neighbors of other Negro natives, such as Charging Hawk Hawkins, a tribal chief, and the medicine man himself, Dr. Diamond Jackhammer Johnson. Now, fake Negro Indians, those cocksucking imposters, will assume names like Chickenhead Smith, Cut Off Your Nuts Jackson. Those are your imposter, false black, shameless, cocksucking natives, the false variety. Pay attention and follow a meaning. There are far too many Negroes whom simply are not happy or proud to be black. They want to belong to another race. Imagine that. To them, other races are special, so they themselves want to be seen as special. These self-hating Negroes want to be of a mixture of other races because being black alone isn't special enough. I don't think anyone has the right to lie about their natural identity. I don't think you have a right to just make up, create your past. Since you're such a Negro Native American, how often are you in contact with other Negro Indians? How often do you cocksucking imposters mingle with other imposters? Just curious. Since you're such a Negro American Indian, have you mastered cultivating and harvesting crops, vegetables, raising livestock? Probably not, because you're a fucking fraud. After all, you're a so-called Negro Indian, right? Right? Ever hunt? Ever do any hunting? For wild game? Any wild game hunting? No? Can you build a fucking house or a hut? These are some of the things real black Indians do. If you were one, you would know that. I challenge any Negro claiming Indian heritage to voluntarily submit to a DNA test. How about that? Get the facts, know the truth. You can choose to remain uninformed. You can continue to lie about your natural identity, but I know who the fuck you are. And you just don't pass the smell test at all. Why are so many black people insanely obsessed with a culture they do not belong to? They know next to nothing about indigenous folks. Pay attention. They are not even trying to learn. Pay attention and follow my meaning. This is not an attack on real black natives. Many false black Indians are victims of misinformation. And I want to reiterate something. This is not an attack on the misinformed or the innocent. Shameless and irresponsible family elders, they tend to create a false and misleading past, claiming to have Indian heritage when they know full well they don't. According to the history of slavery in America, some Native Americans actually owned black slaves. A lot of you didn't know that. And being owned by Native Americans does not qualify a black slave a native status, no more than being qualified as white for being owned by a white man. Think about it. Now, not every other black and native did the swirl. They didn't all swirl, not all of them. You need to know that. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. The vast majority of you will be quite disappointed when you receive the results of your DNA test. Many of you will literally start fucking crying, snot-nosing all over the goddamn place. Some of you will be devastated like a motherfucker when you find out you are not a Negro Indian. I once knew a chubby, light-skinned Negro female with short, kinky hair, green eyes, and European features. Now, this particular Negro is a total liar. This bitch, let me tell you about this bitch. Now, this bitch is claiming that 75% of her family is Native American. That's bullshit. Now, think about it. She's a light-skinned Negro female with short, kinky hair, green eyes, and European features. I've never in my life seen a full-blooded Native American with green eyes. Have you? Probably not. So, I know the bitch was lying to me. I know it. Of course, we know also well, and that a lot of black people are lying. Now, let me tell you one more thing about this bitch. She never offered any specifics, did not name a single goddamn Indian tribe, of course. Of course, we know also well Negro tribes of choice is traditionally Cherokee. Why is it that so many of you lying cocksuckers are always selecting the Cherokee tribe? You're always selecting that one. I mean, what about the Narragansett tribe from Rhode Island? Is Rhode Island not sexy enough for you? You don't want to be from Rhode Island? You don't want to be an Indian from Rhode Island, so you rather call yourself a Cherokee and lie about it. Wow. You never claimed membership of the Lumbee tribe from North Carolina or the Pequot tribe of Connecticut. But every 3 lying fucking Negroes will falsely claim like a motherfucker that they are of the Cherokee tribe. It's a lie, and you know it. The Black Seminoles of Florida are widely known. None of you are claiming membership of the Seminole tribe. Why is that? Yet, false Negro Indians know nothing about them. They know nothing about the fucking Cherokees. So-called black Cherokees have no idea where the Cherokees even originate from. You have no fucking idea. And I am not going to tell you motherfuckers nothing. Find out for your fucking selves, you lying motherfuckers. Pay attention and follow my meaning. This is very important information. Black American Indians received emancipation after the Civil War. You motherfuckers probably didn't know that. Freed black Indian slaves were given full membership of their respective Indian tribes or indigenous nations. And of course you didn't know that. Which means that freed black Indian slaves were given full citizenship rights. So, yeah. But the Cherokee, you Cherokee jocking motherfuckers, pay attention. Excuse me. Now, the Cherokee and the Seminole tribes, they were strict like a motherfucker. You had to have at least one living, or you had to have at least one native or indigenous ancestor in order to even be considered for membership into the Cherokee and the Seminole tribes. Now, according to the records, blacks and natives first started fucking around, messing around, fucking, having sex, getting to know each other. Was back in 1502 in the Puerto Rican and in the Hispaniola Island regions. Hispaniola Island consists of the nation of Haiti and Dominican Republic. You most likely have zero Indian in your family. You need to accept that fact. You had to have, like I said, to be considered into these tribes, you needed to have at least one Native American ancestor. So let's be clear about that. Now, according to historian, Harvard professor Dr. Henry Louis Gates, you probably have zero Indian in your family, and only 5% of all blacks have at least 12.5% Native American ancestry, okay? Which means they had, or the equivalent of, one great-grandparent. You need this information, trust me. Whom were or is full-blooded Native American. The average American Negro knows not one Native American person. Tell me this is not factual. Now, you know not one black, you also know not one black Native American. So, I mean, they only know false Indians. Shameless motherfuckers at that. Pay attention and follow my meaning. The acceptance of false black Indianhood most likely was introduced and adopted, right into black folklore during slavery, most likely by their oppressors or their slave masters during slavery. So, differences, false or otherwise, especially among slaves, trust me, it reinforces division between the slaves. Differences divide. It estranges. It separates the dark-skinned slaves with coarse hair and fair-skinned slaves with straight, wavy, or curly hair. I mean, there you have it. Fair-skinned slaves are treated differently than the darker-skinned slaves. Many of the fair-skinned slaves were probably house Negroes, but I digress. White people, as well as freed blacks and Indians, these groups of people, they held slaves. They owned slaves. Keep that in mind. So, and keep in mind, they all use the same tactics on their slaves. So that's some information you might want to store in your fucking brain, your misinformed mind. Now, every three false, it still amazes me, every three false lying black American Indians, all of them are false Cherokee tribe members. Not a motherfucker is claiming Choctaw or the Muskogees. They're all, let them tell it, excuse me, are Cherokee. Imagine that. Why are you proud to be something you're not? You're living in false pride. Makes no sense. Quit misrepresenting your natural identity. You're a Negro. Be proud of that. Learn just how beautiful black is. And that's all I'm saying for now. Do remember to subscribe below, and I thank you for joining me in this installment of the Eddie Spivey Show. And I hope that you have enjoyed the title, Shameless False Black American Indians. Holler at me next time.